Hello and welcome to the Kyle Olson Show. After coronavirus, the media has a new obsession: murder hornets. You may have seen the reports this week. There is news that the Asian giant hornet is attacking beehives in Washington state. This was all over the news. It was like these giant hornets were just going to be attacking Americans. Dubbed murder hornets by researchers, the species has a venomous sting that can kill a human if they are stung several times. Mark Vanderwerp, who is a board-certified entomologist who is with Rose Pest Solutions, told Fox 17 that these hornets have reportedly killed between 20 and 50 people a year in Asia. Now, I heard this, and I thought to myself, there are a lot of people that live in Asia. So I went and looked it up. There are 4.1 billion people who live in Asia. According to Vandenwerp, between 20 and 50 people a year die from stings from the murder hornet. So I did a little more public school math. That would equate to, if the murder hornet was spread across the United States, was flying everywhere, that would equate to 3 to 6 Americans per year dying from bee stings, from hornet stings from the murder hornet. This was a story. He talked to Fox 17 in West Michigan, and he also said that because we're in the Midwest and this murder hornet is currently in Washington state, he thinks it will take decades for this thing to get to the Midwest. So why are we talking about this? Why is the media not more interested in the dictatorial nature of Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive actions, the 70-plus executive orders that she has issued dictating how Michiganders can act? But let's continue talking about the murder hornet. So the other thing I was trying to figure out was, because I'm sure that people are stung every year by bees. I was stung by a bee last year. I was out moving bark, and whammo, I was stung by a bee. But what I found, according to the CDC, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of people who die from bee stings every single year. This was according to the Miami Herald, July 26, 2019. According to the CDC, deaths ranged from a low of 43 in 2001 to a high of 89 in 2017. And I think it was a little higher in 2018, and according to their graph, which was not very clear, it was a little higher again in 2019. But the point is, they're projected would be more people to die from different types of yellow jackets and all the different types of bees than from the murder hornet. Now, I get the point of the murder hornet is that it could potentially decimate bee populations, honeybees specifically, and that is a concern. And so then the question is, should humans get involved, or should they just let nature take its course? Is there a parallel here with coronavirus? I don't know. You be the judge. So what I found was, in Japan, honeybees have figured out a way to fight back against the Asian giant murder hornet. This is from Fox News, and it says, bees in Japan have been known to form a ball around the invader and vibrate to produce heat, which can essentially cook a hornet to death. That sounds kind of graphic, but that's kind of fascinating that the bees, who, I would guess have rather small brains, have figured out a way to cook and kill the predator. First, apparently, they tried to sting the murder hornet, but they could not get through its abnormally thick exoskeleton. This is fascinating. You probably didn't think you would have a science lesson on this show, but here we are. Now, let's get to some more important news, and that is what is happening in the state of Michigan. The Michigan House and Senate joined together this week to sue Governor Gretchen Whitmer over her extended state of emergency. They are fighting with the governor, Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey and House Speaker Lee Chatfield joined forces, and they said enough is enough. And I want to play this clip for you. This is Senator Mike Shirkey. He was on Jackson TV. His district is down in the Jackson area. I say down because I'm in Muskegon. But let's play this clip. And this, I think, is it's anecdotal evidence about what is going on in Michigan and the indifference I think our governor has towards the real lives of Michiganders and what they're going through because of her actions related to coronavirus. Listen to this. Listen to this story from Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, who told Jackson TV about text messages he received recently from a friend about the death of her father.
3 or 4 days after he went in the assisted living facility, the stay home, stay safe order came in place. So now he's in this facility and he can't see his wife of 65 years. And so every day for the next 34 days, he just said, when can I see my wife? When can I see my wife? And after about a week, he began to deteriorate. He lost 45 pounds in 31 days. And then my friend got a call last Friday night, we could go tonight, and said, you better come visit him because he's not doing well. So she broke the law by going there, broke the law, executive order laws, by going into the facility to see her dad, who she was been told was going to die. She got to the room in time enough to hold his hand. He opened his eyes, and he was obviously suffering. And she said, Dad, it's okay. You can go to heaven. And he died.
So she had to break the law. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's universal, authoritarian, dictatorial law so she could see her dad one last time. Continue.
He didn't die of close head injury. He didn't die of the flu. He didn't die of COVID. He died of a broken heart. And that's happening all across the state because one person is making the decisions on what you and I can do and not letting us have any latitude to make any judgment. His daughter broke the law twice to go see him just before he died. And he died because he couldn't see his wife. He was making progress. Now, I want you to put that in perspective. That is not a unique situation. That's happening across the state. And by the way, you might ask the question, well, what's the prevalence of the disease in that area? None!
Well, one of many frustrations that Michiganders have is that funerals, for example, could be held in respect of the social distancing guidelines, whether you believe in those or not. I think an argument could be made that those can be done responsibly and effectively. Is it the way that the family wants to do it? No, probably not. But those are the times that we're in. And so you could hear the anger and the anguish in Senator Shirkey's voice because he, of all people, has been trying and has the authority to work with the governor of the state of Michigan to protect the safety, improve the lives, create the opportunities for Michiganders to survive and thrive and be successful and provide for their families. And so it's unfortunate to me that the legislature has been put in the position where they have to go to court to try and get the governor to work with them. But that's where they're at. Coming up, I am speaking with State Representative Beau Lefebvre, who is one of those legislators who is trying to work with the governor. I believe that he is interested in doing that. And so when we come back, we'll have a conversation with him. Don't go away.